morning. It's Dr. Brent Hulsebus here coming at you from the Hulsebus Rockford Chiropractic Clinic on this fine Tuesday morning after Labor Day. So today's Ask the Chiropractor is a patient asked me about a scoliosis. What's a scoliosis and how do I know if I have one? And are there different types of scoliosis? Well, what's a scoliosis? A scoliosis is when you look at the spine and it's supposed to be nice and straight and you look at it front to back, but instead it has all kinds of waves and curves. That's a scoliosis. And there's different types of scoliosis. There is a idiopathic scoliosis. This is the one that most people are concerned about. This is the one that nobody really knows where it comes from, other than it probably comes from mom or dad. So either mom or dad had a scoliosis and they pass that on to you. This is most commonly seen in females. It goes from mom to daughters and stuff like that. But there are cases where I see that the grandfather had it. And then the grandfather has sons, the dad, and then the dad has a daughter, and the daughter has a scoliosis. Those are the ones I usually see are the worst scolioses, and that's just my own research and my own things I've come across. But scoliosis can be really, really troubling for the individual with the scoliosis. The other is one that's called a functional scoliosis. Now, many times in here, I've talked about the righting reflex. The righting reflex says your eyes stay level at all times. You never see anybody walking around like this. So the righting reflex is if I have a curve in my lower back that does this, I must have a curve in my upper back that does this. That would be more of what we call functional scoliosis. And that's just the spine trying to level itself out. So that's one that chiropractors can usually reduce and bring down quite a bit as we work on the primary curve and get rid of the secondary curve. There's also a thing called a scoliotic curve, and that's just when you have a big round part to one part of your spine, but not so much the rest. Again, these are ones that chiropractors work on all the time. Now, how do we know if you have a scoliosis? A lot of you just did your school physicals and like the doctor had to turn around, like touch your toes and come back up and said, oh, you have a scoliosis. That's not a very definitive diagnosis by any means. The only true way to know if you have a scoliosis is to take an x-ray of it and see what's going on. And a full spine x-ray, top to bottom, to see the whole spine so you really know what's happening. If you see a curve and a twist of the vertebrae, that's the ones that we usually call the idiopathic ones. Those are the severe ones. And so as chiropractors, what do we do with those? Like I said, if they're development, ones that developed and came that way, we can work on those quite a bit. But if it's one that you're born with, if it's one that because of bad genes or bad genetics, whatever you want to call it, those are the ones that we try to make stronger. Not always can those go back to normal, not always. But we like to try to make them stronger. Our biggest thing is we don't want to see the spine weaken over time and the curves get worse and become a really, really bad problem when you've aged quite a bit. So that's really what we're looking at. So if you have a question about scoliosis, or if you've been told you have one, you want to know what more your options and choices are, come ask the chiropractor. Again, ask the chiropractor. Don't ask other doctors about what chiropractors do, because we don't study what other doctors do, and other doctors don't study what we do. So come ask us directly, and we'll give you our honest answer. Other than that, have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys real soon. And if you have a question ever that you'd like to have on this segment, ask the chiropractor, just send us an email, send us a message below, direct message us, call us, come on in and just ask us, and we'll be happy to go over it with you. Talk to you real soon.